Hey everyone, Leaf here. Today I'm going to talk about some toys, specifically some radio controlled helicopters. So it's going to be a lot of high flying fun. Let's get into it. Alright, so radio controlled helicopters. Now these ones are the indoor variety, not the drones, quadcopters, or even the larger scale ones that you see people flying outside. These ones are nice, they're fun, they're simple. These are both gyro helicopters. What's a gyro helicopter? Well, what that means is you've got something inside this helicopter. So when you have you've got the two rotors, you got one spinning one way, the other spinning the other direction. And the gyro helps them spin mostly the same. So you're not constantly trying to keep them from spinning back and forth, round and round. So these ones are really simple to fly, a lot of fun. Between the two of them, I like the blue one better, because it flies a little faster. This one says it's got a high speed, but it really doesn't. So I was a little disappointed when I got the red one. The reason I got the red one is because this one stopped working. One of the motors on this one, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't spin as fast as it's supposed to. I think it's starting to seize. So as much as I love both these helicopters, I think today, after we see what this one does, we're going to find out what makes this one tick and what the guts of it look like. So, first things first, let's see if we can get this one in the air. First things first, charge it up. Now, I've already charged this prior, so you flip the switch on to the bottom, lights come on, so it tells you it's working. Flip on the remote. Flip on the remote. Wait a second. Alright, figured out the problem. Helps when you put the batteries in the right way. So, as I was saying, first thing you need to do is turn the helicopter on. You get your blinky lights saying it's trying to sync. Turn the remote on. And turn the remote on. When it's on the right channel, it connects and lights come on. So you give it a little bit of throttle and the rotors spin. So see if this one still flies. I haven't used it in a little while. Yep, still works. Oops. But that's basically what it is. It works a little better when you have a larger area. So as you can see, I don't have a huge area to work with, so I really don't want to fly it too much. Now, that's how this one works. This one works exactly the same way. You got the two rotors that go opposite directions. You've got the counterweights at the top, which help balance it. You've got your rear propeller, which tips it forward so you can fly forward or backwards. And when you want to turn it, all it does is it spins one of the top rotors a little faster or slows the other one down to make the whole unit spin one way or the other. Now, how does it actually work and what makes it tick? Let's open it up and find out. Alright, so now let's get into this thing. So as you can see, first of all, you've got a whole bunch of screws holding the frame together. Now, they're all basically fairly simple. They're all Phillips head screws. And you notice beside me, I've got this fancy little bag that has extra parts. That's one nice thing about these little helicopters is they all come with extra parts, because they know over time you're going to crash them. So you come with extra propellers, extra stabilizer fin here, extra rear fin. Make sure you're going in a straight line, lots of extra screws, some of these extra little stabilizer bars for the counterweight for the rotor, a full extra stabilizer weight, extra propeller for the back, but we're not going to need any of those. So let's get those out of the way. Let's see if we can get into this thing. Now the first thing we need to do is get this cover off. Now, so we've got a little screw here. And you got one on the other side. take the nose cone off, and that shows you what's actually inside. Now you've got these two little wires that are going to this front LED. Now there's a couple different LEDs. This one is more like just to shine under the front, so you can fly it at night or in the dark to see where it's going. And you've got this other LED light through which will turn on to show, basically gives some neat looking light to the inside of it. You'll also notice that you've got the battery right here. Now, for the size of the helicopter, it's a fairly sizable battery, and you may notice that this one is not square anymore. I think this battery is just about at the end of its lifespan. Now, just because they're in the way, let's get these rotors out, or off. That's how easy it is to change the rotors. You don't actually have to take the whole thing off, you just have to undo the two screws on the end. I just did all four of the screws just for the sake of taking them off. And then, change the stabilizer pieces. They just pop on and off. Now I've got this little metal bar in here, which is the pin to hold this in place. As you can see, you've got a hole in the middle. That way it stays spinning the same direction as the rod. Now, the screw here. See if this does anything. Ah, that takes the whole top unit off. I guess I could have done that first, that would have been a little easier. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this center spacer that's basically just more aesthetic than anything to keep the upper rotors separate from the lower rotors. So now we're going to take out the screws, get these bottom rotors out of the way. Okay, so this one, you've got the extra bit of plastic in the middle to hold it together, so that's why I was having so much trouble getting the bottom of it off. Yeah, now, pretty easy. So let's move those out of the way. Now this doesn't seem to want to come off, so I may have to work at it from the bottom. So, take off the landing gear. Strange as it is, landing gear is one of the things that they did not include a replacement on. Either that or it's one of the things that I've already broken and I forgot about it already. Because these things, while they can take a beating, they do take a beating. There's a little bit of a learning curve for flying them, but it's definitely worth it. Alright, so I guess we're going to have to start taking the sides apart. So again, it's just a whole bunch of little screws. And after you get the screws out, the side piece pops off. Now you start to get an idea of how it actually works. You've got two motors, one on the front, one on the back, and they drive each of these two gears. One spins the lower rotor, and I've taken the other one off, but the other gear spins the top rotor. Now, this one I can tell is for the top rotor because obviously I spin this one. This one's connected to the front motor. Now this is a motor that I've been having trouble with, and I looked into it, and there's nothing I can do to repair this one. So, let's keep taking it apart. See if we get all the guts out of it. Now, we got something holding this piece in right here. So I think to get it off, we're going to have to take the other side apart a little bit. Alright, there goes the side. Keep moving stuff out of the way. Now, as you can see, because they're simple little motors, obviously they're going to have magnets in them. You're going to have magnets on the outside, and then you're going to have the wire coil on the inside. And how do you know that? Well, one, you've got a screw stuck to the side that doesn't want to let go. Now, you do have a motor on the back here, and that's to get the power to it. You actually have wires running down the length of the rear tail shaft. Now, they sneak in just right here. So, to expose that a little more, once again, we flip to the other side. There's the other side, and this is what makes up your helicopter. You got your two motors for your two rotors. You got your wires leading to the rear propeller and the rear LED light. You got the rest of you got more wires that come through the shrink wrap that go to the front motor. You got wires that go to the, so I guess this is the back motor, go to the front motor. And they all come off the circuit board. Now, this light, the more I think about it, right in the middle, it's probably the one to say whether it's on or off. But what I didn't point out is you've got two LEDs off either side for direction lights. And that, basically, is what makes up one of these helicopters. Now, continue diving into it. This thing has two parts. You have the controller as well. So, for that, I'm going to need a slightly bigger screwdriver. But to get into it, it's basically the same. Simply undo the screws. Once the screws are out, cover comes off. So, as I showed beforehand, underneath this door, you've got the charging cable, which just passes through the hole in the bottom. Then you got your control board. You've got your infrared lights to control the helicopter. You've got the throttle up, throttle down on the rocker. This is the multi-directional joystick, so you've got your forward, backward, turn left, turn right. Then you've got a couple buttons, a couple more buttons off the top. These buttons are to change your direction to try and stabilize it, because it's going to want to turn one way or the other naturally. So these are your stabilizer controls. And then the button to turn the lights on and off. That's literally all it is. But just for the sake of it, we'll take the board out and we'll look at the bottom. So you take the board out, and not much to see. Simple surface mounted components. You got a couple little bits on the back, but for the most part, all the important stuff is on the top. And there you have it. All of this and all of these parts is what goes together to making one of these little helicopters and what makes it fly. Really? They're a lot more complicated than they look, but overall, there's not a whole lot to them. So, next time you're flying a little helicopter or see someone else flying one, now you know how they work. Hope you have a little more fun, can appreciate everything that you can't fix, because you do have set up lots of parts that you can replace different things with. Unfortunately, you can't replace everything. So, if you break something, try and keep it minimal. Stick with the rotors, the propeller, the fins. Those are the pieces that they always send replacements with. And yeah, go find yourself some fun toys and start flying.